Hi there, everyone. I had a lot of great feedback on the garden tour that I did about a month ago. And so what I've decided to do is take you on another tour of the garden to cover a couple of topics particularly related to preparing your garden for the autumn and trying to get a little bit more out of your harvest. I want to use the example of beans as a way to look at what's called successive planting, which means planting seeds every couple of weeks so that you end up with your harvest not just coming all at one big time. So as you can see here behind me, most of this was planted very early in the season. At my first planting and then a couple of weeks later. And a lot of it's pretty mature, a lot of it's been picked dry. But what I did is throughout the summer, every couple of weeks I planted more seeds. So take a look down the garden slowly, and what you'll see against that fence are bean plants that are less mature and that I'm actually picking off right now. Now, if you come down here and take a look at the center of the garden, over here, you'll see a lot of less mature plants. These went in about, I'd say, 3 weeks ago. If you come down a little bit further in the garden, over here, you're going to see beans that were planted about 1 week ago or maybe 10 days ago. So this concept of successive planting, of basically timing things so you don't put them all into the ground at one time, is a fantastic way for you to increase the yield of your garden. Now, to make that happen, however, you have to be thinking about space. And so the next thing I'd like to talk to you about is, how do you create space in your garden? Come on over here. Do you see this dirt right here, this bed? What used to be here just 2 days ago were some Japanese eggplants. And those plants have already pretty much yielded. In fact, 2 of the plants had very small baby eggplants on them. And I made the decision to sacrifice those 2 little eggplants to create an open bed. And in this open bed, I'm going to be planting some spinach later today. So that's another thing to really be thinking about is when you have a plant that isn't really yielding a lot anymore. So for example, I only have 1 eggplant left on this. I'm going to give this just another 3 or 4 days for it to fill out. And then I'm pulling this plant out, even though there are some other flowers on it. And that's a really critical thing. Don't be scared to pull plants up. You don't need to get every last little fruit off of a plant if you want to use that space. Here I have this beautiful, sweet little eggplant, right? This beautiful Japanese eggplant. And it's probably going to be ready to pull off of here in about 10 days, 8 days. And over here, there's another very, very small little baby. Well, there goes that plant. Why is this plant gone? Is I need to get some stuff in the ground right over here. And so I'm going to turn this soil over, give it a day or so to kind of dry out. We've had a lot of rain here. And then I'm going to have myself another 3 or 4 square feet that I can plant some beets in, that I'll be harvesting in November or even in the icy confines of December.
So folks, a quick afterthought. I did concentrate on beans to emphasize the point around successive planting, but it's too late in the season to get any beans in the ground. However, spinach is the way to go. And if you really want to try this out, go ahead and plant some spinach as soon as you can get out into the garden. And then maybe in about 10 days or 2 weeks from now, or from that first planting, go ahead and plant another row. And you may even be able to do it one more time and just experience what it's like to start cutting your first spinach leaves, the very young, tender, yummy ones, maybe in, let's say, early October, mid-October at the latest. And then you can go ahead and experience what it's like to do that towards the end of October, and even maybe into November. And so you can even at this time of year experience that successive planting pleasure. Anyway, so this is something, of course, that you probably should watch maybe next spring. I'll probably repost it in relation to successive planting, but you can give the concept a go right now with some leafy greens. Okay, ciao for now.